Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session designed to facilitate raising standards. I was working with a client who, at one point in their life, made a decision not to be someone they didn't want to be and to become someone else. And I think everyone in their life has 2 or 3 moments like this, where they reach a point, normally a point of threshold, where they think enough is enough. They don't want to be a certain person, and from that point onwards, they're fundamentally different. And for this particular client, it was behavior that she had when she was a teenager. She didn't want to be that person anymore. So she decided to be someone that held herself up to a higher standard. So in this hypnosis session, you're going to hear something similar, except it's based on this idea of integrity. This particular client was very healthy and very nutritionally aware, but occasionally would do things that she felt wasn't aligned with her values. And the clues to that was that sometimes she would be sneaky or secretly eat or feel guilty or shame afterwards. And these are normally clues of not meeting a certain value. So in this hypnosis session, you're going to hear an element of disassociation from the current identity and stepping into the evolved identity that aligns with these kind of values that she really values. This is important because values matter proportionate to how much the individual values them. So the value of this client doesn't have to be your values. Some people will value gratification, in which case they wouldn't feel any embarrassment, shame, or guilt if they were to eat too much cake or, have too much sugary foods. But this client did value that, and therefore is about stepping into that by having that element of disassociation. What I found, having worked with thousands of clients now, is that when you make change at the higher logical levels, it's always more profound than at the exterior logical levels. So the exterior logical levels are things like environment and behavior, and a lot of people want to change what they do, whereas you always get better results if you change what you believe, what you value, or most importantly, who you are. So a lot of the language in this particular hypnosis session is designed to create a change at the identity logical level rather than anything else. If you're listening to this and you like the idea of stepping into a higher standard or evolving to a different version, still you, but a different version of you, there will be a link in the show notes that you can schedule a free consultation call with me. But you might find that even though this hypnosis session was created for someone else, it might be very valuable for you if you want to become a healthier version of you or to have more integrity with those things that you truly value. In which case, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. And as your eyes closed, just allow any feelings of tension or stress slowly but surely to leave your body in your outward breath. Breathing in that resourceful feeling of relaxation and giving permission to yourself to release and let go of anything that is not useful right now. And what might not be useful could just be how your body's positioned, and if it's not useful, then change it. How you're breathing. If you're breathing too fast or too shallow, then slow it down and make it deeper. And maybe there's tension in the forehead or the jaw, the neck or the shoulders. And if there is, on the outward breath, just decide to let that go. Or maybe there's certain emotions that you've been holding on to. Could be anything: guilt, shame, frustration, tiredness. Just feel like you can let these sensations go. And as they go, you're creating a space for positive, resourceful emotions to fill that void. And I want you to think of the most positive, the most resourceful emotions that would be useful for you right now. Breathe in a feeling of relaxation, confidence. Breathe in a feeling of energy and determination. Whatever emotions are most useful for you, feel that that's what's going in. And as you exhale, just release tension, stress, worries, or anything that isn't helping. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to think about what the word integrity means to you. For some people, integrity means being honest, not just in words, but in actions too. Doing the right thing. Being someone that you can trust. And I want you to think about the few parts of your life where it doesn't quite meet that standard. And the clues are if you have to lie about something, be secretive about something, to sneak something, or to present half-truths. These will be clues that you're not quite meeting that value of integrity. And I want you to imagine that you're seeing a version of yourself, perhaps from the recent past, doing those things that fall below that standard of integrity. See yourself perhaps being sneaky. See yourself perhaps presenting a view of who you are that's different from what you've done. And I want you to think of what words come into your mind that describes this type of person. There's so many words that could explain a person that doesn't walk their talk, that doesn't live their mission. Maybe the words that come to mind are fake or fraud, imposter or hypocrite. Allow the words to come up in your mind that feel like it's creating emotional leverage. And I want you to think of all the connotations of what it means to be a person like that. Until you reach the point where you just decide, that isn't me. Keep thinking about the times it's made you feel guilty, that you've been ashamed, embarrassed, until it reaches the point where you decide that you don't want to be that person anymore. And when you arrive at that point where you don't want to be that person anymore, just let me know by nodding your head. I want you to imagine standing in front of that person, pointing at that person, even though it's you. It's the version of you with these attributes that fall short of your high standards. And I want you to use these words just in your inner dialogue from you to you, pointing at them, using these words. Maybe you're pointing them and saying you're a fraud, you're a fake, you're a hypocrite. Feel the intensity of those words. But you're looking at yourself like you're someone else. This is the old version of you, the person that you're moving away from, the person that you could always choose to be again if you choose. But why would you want to be that person? And when you've allowed this cathartic exercise of saying what you really feel about that part of who you used to be, let me know by nodding your head. And keep that part there, and then see a different part. Still you, but a version of you that represents integrity, congruency. The version of you with even higher standards. And I want you to look at that version of you as I give you a series of hypnotic suggestions about who you could be. And you decide which of these suggestions will shape this new version of you. The version of you that you could be, if you choose to be that person. And maybe you see yourself with additional qualities, almost like a halo effect, because when you're more like the person you want to be, it accentuates other positive qualities. So look at that version of you, the person you want to be, and accept that every day you feel more and more motivated to prioritize your health and well-being. That this version of you finds it easy to make healthy choices and enjoy eating nutritious foods that nourish your body and mind. That you're committed to living a healthy lifestyle. A person that takes joy in sharing your healthy habits with others. And maybe this version of you treats their body like a temple, and they treat it with respect and care. Or maybe you choose to eat foods that are beneficial to your health, that make you feel satisfied and energized by your choices. I want you to see a version of you with integrity, that what you share to the world, you also live by. See an empowered version of you in control of your health, empowered by the changes you do for yourself, but also how you inspire other people. See yourself with a level of commitment that is even higher than it was in the past. A commitment to healthy living, but with a super positive, can-do attitude. See yourself with high levels of integrity, a person that follows through on commitments to yourself in health, but also in life. See a version of you that is proud of their progress, but also not complacent, someone that wants to constantly improve in so many areas of their life. I want you to see this version of you as a role model for others that also want to live a healthy lifestyle. See a version of you that isn't doing it for show, but is living it, that is getting the benefit of these healthy, nutritious choices. But also see someone that isn't perfect, that occasionally they'll eat that cake or have that snack, but because they're choosing to. They're in control of their choices and who they are, and it's the fact that they're choosing it that keeps them in alignment with their values and this new identity. But you also see yourself trying new healthy foods and recipes, eager to learn new things, strategies, ways of eating and exercising. See yourself as grateful for your body and all that it does for you. And see you with the attributes of dedication to being the best version of yourself and a genuine inspiration to other people. See someone with a deep respect for their body and their health, and someone that trusts their intuition and their body's wisdom. Sometimes this version of you may just need a snack, and that's okay. There is no such thing as perfection. So you're seeing a version of you with integrity, but someone that accepts their flaws, embraces them, and strives to make progress and improve. I want you to see a version of you where taking care of your health is a form of self-love. It's a gift to you from you. And then I want you to take a minute or so just to decide what other attributes, characteristics this new version of you would have. And then imagine these two versions of you are standing side by side. The version of you that lacks integrity, and another version of you that oozes integrity. A version of you that fakes it, and a version of you that lives it. And when you're ready, truly ready, to step into the version of you that you really want to be and will be and are committed to being, let me know by nodding your head. And then step into that version, the new version. So you're no longer seeing it, you're feeling it, you're being it. That this is now you. And I want you to imagine somewhere nearby is a full-length mirror. You're now looking at your own eyes through your own body, feeling this way. Feel what it feels like to be in alignment, in integrity, to be real. That you can inspire people from a place of being authentic and genuine. That any progress you make, you can be proud of because this is you. It's not what you do, it's who you are. And I want you to get a sense that you are unlocking your ability to have an impact on other people's lives. That your purpose of helping other people is amplified by being this person. And then I want you to see that other version of you out of integrity, knowing that at any point in time you could choose to go backwards. You could choose to talk the talk but walk a different walk. You could choose to sneak and give a false representation whenever you want, but why would you? Why would you go backwards when this version of you feels so much better? that you don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be real. And you want to be real. Real choices when you decide. Vulnerable, honest, in alignment. That you are going to be the person you want other people to see you as, and for you to help them to become. And when all parts of you are now integrated and aligned with this version of you and the ripple effect throughout your future, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to imagine what the next few days and weeks, maybe months, would be like. Notice the inner dialogue is subtly shifting. That if some of those old ideas pop into your head, maybe you can hear yourself saying, "That's not me." Or maybe you can hear yourself saying, "That's the old me. I don't do that anymore." And every time you say that, it feels so good. That feeling connected to the new version of you feels better than any food can taste. And when all parts of the present and the future are fully integrated into this new identity, who you are, let me know by nodding your head. And take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose as you fully return to the present, listening to my voice. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that all parts of you here in the present, you've left the old part behind. And when I count from 1 to 10, you will awaken as the new version of you, with no desire to go backwards, no desire to be a fraud, no desire to be a hypocrite, no desire to be the old version of you. And you may notice that you will dream dreams of this new life, this new identity, and you will be hyper aware of any clues and signals that you are integrating with this new version of you, starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.